The single is a good reflection of me as an artist. I think the sentiment of the song, I'm glad I chose it as my first single because it just it represents me and what I'm about really. On the album there's a good mix, there's some dancey songs, there's happy songs, it's all quite soulful but there's a good mix on there.
You said in other interviews that the label presented you with some songs beforehand, as a kind of taster or whatever.
Yeah.
But you were like adamant you wanted to co-write. What was the sound of the songs? Were they similar to what you've kind of come up with, or?
Initially, when I started writing, I was working with writers who were absolutely brilliant writers, but my sound hadn't yet been found, and they were writing the songs before they'd properly got to know me, so the sound just wasn't right for me, and so I just said, look, can you let me write? And thankfully they said, yeah, okay, and they let me write.
There's a lot on the album about relationships, kind of breaking up and meeting somebody and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've had a rough
God,
ride on
it's like, poor me. I haven't had it easy in relationships. I don't think anyone does though. It's not easy, is it really? No. And I think a lot of the things I've wrote about on the album, most women and men can kind of relate to. So that's what was important for me really when I wrote it.
And did you find it tricky being in the studio, working on these kind of quite emotional songs? Was it a tricky thing to go in some days? You're just like, I don't know if I can go through this.
Yeah, it was. I don't think you realise, I don't think people realise with the writing process how emotional it gets. For me anyway, I don't know if I'm an odd one, but you're in a room with people or with someone, and because you've got to write a song, you've got to speak to them about what's going on in your life or what's gone on. And you see, you're kind of like opening up like a big diary. And then I did find myself getting a little bit too emotional at times and like getting a bit teary. These poor writers must have been like, oh my God, she's nuts.
It's all you, the album. There's no kind of collaborations or anything. Is that something you're thinking about in the future? Is there anyone you'd like to? I'd like to
collab. Yeah, I would like to collab in the future. The first album, it was important for me for it to just be completely me, completely written, and from me. And I think maybe, hopefully, in the future, it'd be nice to co-write and work with other artists and perform with them. Yeah. There's
a great remix of your single as well.
The Logistics remix is brilliant. Yeah, there's a T2 version as well. It's really good. So yeah, and it was me that I got in touch with T2 because I like his music, and I said, "Will you remix this for me?" And he did, and it's come back really good. Yeah.
And what's next year? I know you announced your tour for next year.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
No.
Are you thinking of? Have you got big plans to head to the US or anything at all?
There is talks of me going over to the US, so yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the tour especially though, I want to get really involved in the creative of it and the screens and how it's going to look. I want everyone to come in and leave having a good experience.